guys, it's Emily, and welcome to the Delulu list. Yes, you heard that right. Today is my 6.0 wish list video, or as I'm now referring to it, the Delulu list, of things that I want to see in the upcoming 6.0 update. Is once again that time of year where we get our mid-year update. Typically the mid-year updates are less substantial in comparison to the anniversary updates, which come out around New Year's. But there still is some like big updates to the game that are very exciting. And today I just wanted to chat about things that I would just love to see in this upcoming update. There's a few that I think for sure will happen and others I'm not quite sure of. And then there's others that like I just don't think are necessarily going to happen, but I'm still gonna wish for them and hope that maybe I will be listened to. I was rewatching my wish list video I made for 5.0 and some of the things I was just like spouting in that video, I was like, what is she talking about? In like what world did she think this was gonna happen? Hence why I've now renamed this the Delulu list, because I feel like that just kind of more makes sense for like my little fantasies of things I want to see in the game. I am actually currently filming this video on June 13th, Caleb's birthday, to get an idea of like where my head's at, because at this point in time we don't know what's being released after this, whether it's like the God of Annihilation rerun, a Private Trip rerun, or heck, even Raphael's new myth, or maybe a Raphael solo, who knows? It could be any of those like few things. So because of that, just know like I don't have like knowledge of what's coming next, so for some reason Raphael's myth gets like a trailer tonight and certain things don't add up with like what I'm saying, that is why. Now first on my wish list is none other than a main story update. I mean, this is a given, we're getting a main story update, enough said. This is like 100% happening, mainly because we did get a World Underneath update back in April, and typically there is like 2 months in between a World Underneath update and a main story update. So we're due for one, it's coming now. Hello, Emily from the future. So I had filmed and edited, like this video was ready to go like yesterday, and then I ended up going out, and by the time I came back and, you know, was gonna upload it on June 22nd, Infold decides to drop a surprise live stream teasing, you know, a certain 6th love interest for 6.0. So I wanted to quickly talk about that. As the first thing on my wish list was a main story update. I kind of had a video recently kind of talking about like some of my potential theories at the time. This is kind of before like some of the stuff started coming out about like him being a werewolf and like that kind of thing, and more just like on a like logistics perspective, given like patterns of the game, like that was kind of more what that video was about. So I kind of had talked about that, and then I was kind of talking about in this video what maybe could happen if they go in those directions. But now we know what direction we are headed in for 6.0, and that is a 6th love interest. I will say I was kind of skeptical. I wasn't like entirely sure if he was actually going to come out. I had my suspicions. I was uncertain for a little while just because a lot of people that I've seen in CN don't seem to like this 6th love interest now that, especially that he's been released, but even before that, like it didn't seem like there was like excitement there. And I know there's like a history with this with MLQC. A lot of people didn't like when Shaw was introduced at first. So I was uncertain if they were actually going to release the 6th love interest. I mean, I haven't been in the fandom for like a love interest being released. I joined after Caleb, but I did see some of the stuff of like people not liking Caleb, and I mean I'm still seeing that a lot. You know, not everyone likes Caleb, and I know some people were uncertain about Silas when people didn't know exactly who he was in the beginning, because they're like, who is this man? And so I think a lot of those similar reactions are kind of happening with the 6th love interest. So I was kind of uncertain in that regard, like especially given that the CN girlies are their primary audience. They are the ones that like wail out on the game. So I was a little uncertain, but then also, you know, I kind of brought into my facts on like why I believe a 6th love interest existed, and I do feel validated in that. The other reason I wasn't quite sure about a 6th love interest coming out was because I feel like there kind of has been like a clean slate for the other love interests when they have come out. For example, with Silas, like they were all caught up on solo banners, they were all caught up on myths, and they were all caught up on main story updates. I mean, that's pretty easy because there's only one main story update at that time. And then same with Caleb, like Silas got his debut story, and then Zane, Raphael, and Xavier got like a Prologue to Tomorrow story, and then Caleb dropped. And at that point, everyone had received a myth, and everyone had been caught up on solo cards. Now for this time, little different. We had that everyone has received new myths. We're at the same point in like the main story, and I know like I'm saying this as a Caleb girly myself, so I just want you to know that like me saying this, like we're on the same team here. But I was not expecting a Caleb main story update if we're getting 6 love interests, like, and that is frustrating given like I do love Caleb and I agree with the frustrations that it's been a long time since he's gotten an update in the main story and I would like to see his main story progress. But I'm gonna try to look at it with a bit more of an optimistic perspective. I think I'll maybe chat about it a bit more in another video, but I knew kind of like if 6 love interest was coming out that Caleb's main story was going to be pushed, at least slightly. We don't know how long. He could come out before the anniversary live stream. I feel like he will. I feel like they're not gonna wait that long, but who knows? I don't know. But we weren't caught up with solo cards the same way that we have been with the past love interest releasing, so given that I'm like a person of patterns and I kind of notice these things, I didn't completely expect a 6 love interest to drop just because Raphael and Caleb currently still need a solo card for the current like solo banner Twinkle Toys theme. And they haven't gotten one yet. So I thought for sure that would be caught up with, but that's okay that it's not. I'm not angry about that. And that, you know, also give the 6 love interest an opportunity to get like a second solo card this year, which I think that would be great for him and people who main him. The thing that really did kick me off, you know, into my full Delulu, not really Delulu at this point because I was proven right. So I feel like people who were like expecting back-to-back multis are probably the more Delulu ones than me. I was correct. Maybe Delulu is the Salulu and maybe that's what we're gonna learn from this list. Maybe I will be more right than I expect to because so far 6 love interest was correct and that was a bit out there. But when they announced a multi-banner last week, I was shocked. I was not expecting us to get a new multi-banner after Caleb's birthday and that's what really like ticked me off of like, oh my goodness, 6 love interest is real and he's coming. Even like today, like watching the live stream this morning, I was just like seeing his face, like actually seeing him with the love interest. He feels so real now and I'm very excited about it. And now I can like kind of put like a face to this like 6 love interest name. So that's very exciting. But I keep blanking on his name. Like I'll remember when I'm like looking at stuff and then I'm like, right now I'm blanking on his name. Because the last time we had a multi-banner that came out before a main story update, technically I would say is with Silas's release. Before Silas was released, we had Entwined Shadows, which was a multi-banner. And because most of the time we usually get multi-banners with the live stream update, so I thought it was really suspicious that we didn't, and I didn't really believe we were gonna get back-to-back multis given that they've never done that before, and I think people would riot more about that than they would a 6 love interest. Maybe to each their own. Maybe it would be about the same. I don't know. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like more of the Western audience is more okay with a 6 love interest, where I just feel like everyone would be united in not liking back-to-back multis. Like I just cannot picture anyone being okay with that. Me included. So as soon as like that multi-banner dropped, I kind of figured 6 love interest was coming, but I feel very validated like finally seeing him. My friends have been hearing me talk a lot about 6 love interest and my theories for like a long time. So yeah, he would have been on my wish list. He already was my wish list. I'm kind of like re-editing this video. For the most part, like I'm keeping most things the same. It's just kind of this part that I wanted to kind of just like talk about. But I'm very much excited for 6 love interest. I'm excited that he's a werewolf. I feel like werewolves have been very hit or miss for me. I am not sure how he will go. I feel like I'm really intrigued by his personality and I feel like if anyone can pull off a werewolf and make me like it, I feel like it is Infold. Given that like some of the characters that like even have come out in Love and Deep Space, some of them I didn't expect to like. I previously talked about on my channel how when I saw Silas in the game, I didn't think I was gonna like him. I thought I was gonna main everybody but Silas, but I was quickly proven wrong. I love Silas. I'm definitely a Silas girly now. I've been converted, but before that, when I was just seeing stuff online about him, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna mesh with him. So, you know, like, I kind of have like high hopes, but just because I've loved every other character in this game, the fact that I'm a harem girly now, and I feel very like passionately about them, like I buy merch for all of the characters, like I really just love them all, and I find all of their stories very interesting. I feel like I'm always excited for new cards because I love all of them, so like, seeing any character get a new card, I'm just excited for all of them. I'm definitely probably more excited usually for Caleb stuff most of the time, but like I'm still very excited for the other 4, now 5 characters we have. So I'm very excited for, what's his name? It's because there's the V. Oh my goodness. Now I have to go look. What is his name again? Valko. Okay. I was gonna say like Valos, but I knew that was wrong. Valko. That's his name. I'm very excited for him to come out in the game. I think I'm gonna have like a more discussion video about that soon. Probably this week, hopefully. I'm probably gonna film that right after I film this little update thing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm a 6th love interest truther, so I hope there's no love interest after this. I will say this, like, I'm not a 7th love interest truther. That's it. 6 is enough. That's enough. We don't need any more. So I hope they don't go down that road. But I'm looking forward to him and his storyline, and I'm intrigued. I want to know more. So we will see what happens when he drops, and I will keep you updated on certain things. I'm still going to do another video after this. You're going to be seeing a lot of me recently, where I talk about like when we get the actual full live stream for 6.0 and my thoughts on that and comparing to what I thought on this Delulu list. But now we're just gonna get back to Emily of the past, just talking about the rest of this list. And I mean, hey, if 6th love interest can happen, then maybe some of these other things that I thought were really far off could happen too. But you know, that's what I say. Delulu is the Salulu today. So I'm very happy. I'm in a good mood. So yay. Next thing I have on my list is new Unicorns Operation plus Abyssal Chaos refresh. Now, if you watched my 5.0 predictions, you would have heard me say that I was 100% certain that we were going to get a new Unicorns update. And I was really certain on that. I was like, there ain't no way they're not gonna update Unicorns. Like, for the past like live stream updates, we've always gotten something updated, whether it's Abyssal Chaos or Unicorns Operations. We get a new way to farm diamonds. And then 5.0 happened and no Unicorns or Abyssal Chaos was in sight. Now, maybe it's just me because I just don't feel like they're gonna leave Unicorns hanging like that for a year. And if they did, and like, you know, we're still like on like the bi-weekly rotation of like Unicorns getting refreshed, like, and by refreshed I mean like the point reset refresh thing, and we're just dealing with that for like another 6 months. I just think that'd be kind of wild. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll be shocked again because like I have been wrong before, but I do feel like we're gonna get a new Unicorns Operation story. I feel like now is the time, especially because it's like one of their more minor updates. I don't feel like Unicorns is as like big of a thing as like the house feature was, for example. But especially with like the release of like potential 4.0 myths, I'm pretty sure that's happening. Like I think that's a given that 4.0 myths are coming out next. With the release of that, then like those myth companions will be released into Unicorns. So I think they're going to update Unicorns even just for that reason. And then we'll get some new story, maybe some new mini games. But I think Unicorns is gonna be updated instead of Abyssal Chaos, just because like Abyssal Chaos already has 2 stories, whereas Unicorns only has the 1. Now you may have noticed I also said Abyssal Chaos refresh, and this is like my wishful thinking Delulu list coming into clutch right here. I believe I said like Abyssal Chaos refresh last time as well. And honestly, at the bare minimum, if they are going to do this, if anything, they're most likely just going to refresh Fine Tobias rather than refreshing absolutely everything. Now, if they did, I would be pleasantly surprised and I'd be very happy about that. But just refreshing all the rewards so that you can once again claim those same rewards, maybe add like a new outfit if you already have the old one, or add like the old one into the chocolate shop and then like add like a new outfit that you can collect and like accessories and that kind of thing. So like that's kind of how they refreshed a bit, so you're not like getting copies of things you already have, or maybe if you already have it, it just like turns to chocolates or heart sand or something like that. But I need more ways to grind for diamonds. Speaking of like battle and grinding diamonds, the next thing I put on my list was an update to Open Orbit. Last year was when we got the Open Orbit like fluctuation orbit update that added more ways to like level up. I mean, like this isn't like the most consistent system, but I could very well see them either like adding levels or adding another like open orbit thing. Like I can't come up with a name for it right now, but like some kind of alternate orbit, I suppose. Especially because we got the open orbit fluctuation one last year, right after Raphael's 3rd myth had come out. And given that we are going into 4th myth, it would make sense that they would add a new orbit as well. So I'm pretty certain on that one. I feel like that's probably gonna happen, but I've been wrong before. And given that we didn't really get a way to grind diamonds in the mid-year or the anniversary update, they might let me down again, and that would suck. Now the next thing I actually didn't add to my list, but I forgot to add it, so I'm just gonna like say it now. But that is a new heartfelt gift, because we are approaching the time that we get heartfelt gifts. We get heartfelt gifts 3 times a year. We get it once in March, once in July, and once in December. And the heartfelt gift will be for Zane because he is next in the rotation of things. And I've also noticed that the colors of these new free 5 stars are like the same colors that I believe their 4th myths are gonna be. So for Xavier, it was pink. For Raphael, it was red. And I think that Zane's going to be yellow, I'm pretty sure, which also matches the Secret Time like 4-star pair color you got with Master of Fate. It just seems like that is like the hint to me. Plus, like, it would make sense that we're getting like new free 5-star cards that'll pair with the myths. And it'll be right around the time like we're getting new myths for these characters too. Like we'll probably get Silas's heartfelt gift around the time his myth comes out. Same with Caleb's in March, because they will also be the next on the rotation. Like we're getting a Silas heartfelt gift in December and we're getting a Caleb heartfelt gift next March, and that's just the rotation of things. I'm looking forward to another free 5-star. That'll be nice to have, and also free diamonds. I no complaints. That's not like a version update thing, but I know it's coming, so I'm just like putting it out there that I told you so, that it's coming. I don't know why I heard people talking about it, but like I feel like it's something I'm not hearing being buzzed about, being like, or haven't heard anything about like the possible Zayn heartfelt gift and like what it might include, like, or what the story might be. Because I feel like I heard a lot about it for Raphael's, but I didn't. I mean, I guess I didn't for Xavier. Xavier was kind of like, oh, hi. Maybe he'll get another firework card, but Xavier also just got the firework cards. Probably not. Probably not, actually. Sometimes they do like themes for these things, but I don't know what these themes are, so I don't know. I don't know what his heartfelt gift story gonna be. I'm rambling now. Moving on. The next thing on my wish list is a house update. I also feel like this is gonna happen. Now, as far as like the specifics of the house update, I could be wrong on that, but these are also things I've been gathering from like prior interviews that they've had, and mentioned that these are like features they're thinking of. Also, along with like the surveys, they've kind of brought these things up. But like the house is not finished yet. There's more to come with that. There's certain rooms that are locked off. The stairs are locked off. Maybe we'll update, like get the upstairs potentially. But I made a note of like things that I would like to see in this house update. So there's like a little subsection for this one. The first one being more interactions with the love interest. I will say, I think my favorite part of the house update is interacting with the love interests. Especially like all the cutesy little interactions they can do. Like they can push each other on the swing. You can kiss them. I like their little like cuddling and stuff. But I feel like once I unlocked everything, it just felt a little limited in like the options you have. And maybe that's also because like I am a Sims player, so like I do have a lot of options in the Sims of like interactions I can have with different Sims, especially if you get mods too. And usually with new expansion packs you would get also new interactions and like ways you can like talk to certain characters and stuff like that. Maybe you can start like telling him a joke. I feel like that's like a common one in The Sims. Maybe there's like a play feature where you're like playing a game together. I'm just like brainstorming stuff like that I know that are in The Sims. Like maybe they'll start having a pillow fight. That could be really cute. There's like a little dance feature. Like that's like one of my favorites. I think it's so cute. I would like a few different kiss options because I feel like the one that we have is cute, but I want like a few other ones. Like maybe because again, I play The Sims, so you have like different ways you can kiss the Sims, I guess. I can't see them doing anything too crazy, but you never know with them. Then, this is like, maybe like the big one for me, but the kitchen. I think the kitchen, in my theory, is that it's kind of gonna be like the garden in a way, and I think it also could possibly pair with the garden. At this point in time, we just are able to plant flowers and like breed flowers. And I think they're going to work their way with that, with also planting food. I think that's going to be like a new option in the garden. And then you'll be able to use that food in the kitchen. And I think they're going to also incorporate ways that you can interact with him as well in the kitchen. I want more of that. Like I feel like, ask like Caleb to make something for me or something like that. That would be the thing to do. And like I need like Xavier like burning down the kitchen. And then like you can unlock new recipes, like different things you plant. And then maybe you could also use like the hybridizer to unlock new foods potentially as well. But I also want them to have cute interactions in the kitchen together, and then I also kind of want to see them like eat the food and like interact and kind of have like little like chatting stuff like while they're eating. I think there's a lot they could do with this. I think they could also kind of make it somewhat like Caleb's indulgence scheme card or Xavier's oh, I'm blanking on what it's called, but like his new solo card that came out this year where like he was cooking in the kitchen and the main character was like shielding herself. Like I think they could kind of incorporate some of those things. Like you could kind of make it like cutesy, like you could be like hug him while he cooks or something like that. And like that would be really cute. And like, yeah, you could like tease him and, you know, like get like distract him. Like I think there's a lot they could kind of do with this interaction, and I think it would be really fun. I also just find that like the cooking feature in like The Sims is like one of my favorite things. So this really excites me. And they have mentioned bringing in a kitchen. There's just so many ways they could go with this, and I hope whatever it is, they find a way to make it functional and fun and not like how gardening kind of feels now. Like I log in and do my gardening, but like, I mean, I'm struggling to get like certain flowers, but I find that I just don't want to log into the house feature anymore. And I feel like they need to find a way to make the house feature more playable and more longevity with it, and to have like more goals. Because I think once you unlock a lot of things, like it just stops becoming fun. But I think you need to have like goals that are gonna last you a while. so you want to keep coming back. I didn't put this on my list, but I'm thinking about it now as I'm talking, and I also think that we need some new furniture and stuff. Specifically because I was actually trying to design some of the house to like look like different parts of different love interests, and I was pairing Xavier with the color purple, and I was noticing there's quite a lack of purple objects. And I feel like a lot of lack of objects in general, like I feel like a lot of the objects aren't that unique, and I feel like it's really hard. I mean, some people are very talented and have found ways to make nice things, but I want there to be like an easier way to make my house look nice and have like more unique objects, not only to interact with, but also to decorate with, to make the house more my own and make it look how I want. And then finally I added like pets. Now I'm only really saying this partly because this is something that was brought up in like an interview that was done with like I think one of the writers or someone who worked at Infold. They were talking about adding a pets features in the house system, which could be really fun, and I would be down for it. I love the pets expansion pack in The Sims. I think you could just start adding like all the Sims expansion packs at this point. Yeah, like Island Living or like Bon Voyage is like the Sims 2 version, or Island in Paradise is like the Sims 3 version. Get me seasons. That's actually what I need. I need seasons, and I need them. I think it'd be really fun to have like a go out feature where they could like go out and like do something. Like there's like a couple places you can like maybe visit with him. So then you can maybe go grocery shopping. That could be kind of fun. And kind of go out like on little dates together rather than just, I know it's a house feature, but like that would be kind of wild if they could do that. I don't know if they're going in that direction. My favorite expansion pack for The Sims of all time is Sims 3 Seasons, and it will never be topped because like it snows, but it doesn't really snow. So it'd be cool, like depending on like where you are in the world, like it kind of matches like with your like hemisphere things. So like if you live somewhere that is like a lot colder, like maybe it snows more often or something like that. But yeah, pets. There's a lot of ways they could kind of go with this. Like we could just do the simple like cat and dog kind of thing. But I feel like because like the love interests also have like specific animals connected to them, like maybe we get like a pet leopard or a bunny or a crow even. Heck, we could have like Reddy chilling in the house. We could have a cat to taunt Raphael with. I think pets could be fun. I feel like they're kind of like a little limited in like their features, and I feel like they're going to have like a needs bar, like we're gonna have to take care of them or they're gonna die if I don't log into the house feature like every day. I don't know. There's ways I could do the pets. I feel like it's not as interesting as some of the other ideas, maybe because like I said, like the cooking feature in The Sims is like one of my favorite elements of the Sims franchise, so I really want a kitchen. But those are my thoughts of some of the things that we could be getting in this house update. I feel like kitchen is most likely, but who knows? I think that might be like the star of the update is the kitchen. Next thing on my list is Lunar Shop update with the solo card poses. Now I was expecting to get this in the spring, as I think last year was when we got the solo card poses for like the previous round of solo cards. And they keep saying like they're gonna update the Lunar Shop and like be better at like updating the poses, and then they don't. And I still don't have Zane's Everlasting Wish pose, and it's frustrating when like I keep importing QR codes and then they're like, oh, you need this pose, and I can't even like buy it from the Lunar Shop. I want that pose so badly. It's used in everything. Every time I get a QR code, it's like, oh, you need the Zane Everlasting Wish pose. I'm like, well, I don't have that. Sad times for me. It's about time, especially with given like also how pathetic the chocolate shop update was for this year. Like we got a mug in comparison to last year where everyone got like new outfits, which were stunning, by the way. They are some of the best outfits released in the game. And then instead we get a mug for completing Hoppy's little rocket ship, right? Like to say less, I was disappointed with that spring like mini game update. And maybe they were holding off. Maybe we'll get a chocolate shop update too, where we will get new outfits for the 6.0 update, but I think that's wishful thinking at this point. I just given up that they're ever gonna update that shop. Especially because like we got the solo outfits from the cards recently. Like Raphael finally has his lovely painter smock, but of course they released that for the purple diamonds, not chocolates. I'm like not even motivated to play kitty cards anymore at this point, because I'm just like I'm not gonna get chocolates. Like what am I gonna spend those on? Like Reverie keys? Like they're not updating Beast Boys Voyage. They're not giving me new outfits to spend it on. They're not giving me new poses. Like I don't know what the point is. Anyways, there's my mini rant over. Okay, moving on. What's next? Next on my list we have new Bond stories. Now I just want this. Are they gonna actually do it? No. They're gonna be like, no, that's all you get. Now they could be really mean with these new Bond stories, and like they could include them in like an affinity update that like when you reach level like 205 for each love interest. I know like I think Zane and the OG3 or whatever like past 200 something at this point. Actually even Silas is past 200 now. It's everyone but Caleb. But that would be really annoying if like it was locked behind like a really high affinity, and they could do that, but I don't want them to. That would be rude. But I do want new Bond stories nonetheless. I was like replaying Caleb's Rain's Embrace yesterday, and it's so nice to hear MC's voice in the story. That's another thing I want on my wish list too, is MC's voice, but they're just not gonna do that. So I didn't add that, but like, no, it's there in spirit that I want MC's voice in the cards. Especially because like in main story now, like the Kindles are so short and barely there, and we never get to hear her voice anymore, and I miss it. Like, what was the point of customizing her voice if we were never gonna hear it? Anyways, mini rant over. But it's so nice seeing like these fully animated stories and like really seeing like the potential. And I'm not saying like we need new Bond stories like all the time. I think if anything, we need them for Silas and Caleb, given that they only have one in comparison to the two that the other three have. So they could even just like put it like a higher infinity, because I think that's when you unlock it for the other three, is like level 50 or 45. Like, it's different for each character, but they could put it like that high. That would be fine with me. I'd be okay with that. It's not like level like 302 or something. That would piss me off. Cause like I think I've been playing for like a year and I'm at like 130 is like my highest. So the Bond stories are just some of the best stories in the game in general, but I think the fact that they're fully animated and we have the main character's voice in it just like really enhances the story, and I want more of them, okay? If anything, they're gonna do it for just Silas and Caleb and like finally maybe listen to the people, give them what they want. Or maybe like Silas and Caleb get 2 Bond stories and the other OG3 get like 1 extra new one to catch everyone up. I feel like if they do that though, they're more likely just gonna be like, everyone gets a new Bond story. Forget the fact that Caleb and Silas are like 1 behind. Don't even worry about it. Because they would do that. They would. Speaking of missing content, the next thing on my list is in fact Silas and Caleb's missing content. I think it's harder to be a Caleb or Silas battle girly starting out, just given the fact the 4 stars don't really help you. And by that I mean there's certain colors of cards that like don't come in the standard wish pool. For example, Caleb has, I know Caleb's a little bit better than I do Silas's, so I'm just gonna use him as my example here. But in the standard wish pool, he only has his regular colors when it comes to 4-star cards, so his primary colors, so that's like green, red, and purple. And then I think he has like a blue 3-star, but then pink and yellow are not available. He technically has like a pink 3-star in, what's it called? Like the thing where you're pulling cards with the magnets. You know what I'm talking about, but I'm blanking on the name. I like log in to do it every day, but I can't remember what it's called right now. And in that like place, like there is like a verified rumor, which is a blue 4-star for Caleb, and then they also have intertwined gold, which is a pink 4-star for Caleb. But that leaves yellow. You cannot get any yellow cards for Caleb that are not limited, whether that be a promise card or a 5-star. And that makes it frustrating when you're battling with Caleb in the senior hunter contest and you need yellow and you are a new player and you can't get it. So that being said, I just think it would be very nice to just get like updates. Like, I don't think this is like, I'm probably preaching to the choir when I say this. Info likes to deny that there's not missing content. They're like, well, we didn't make any other things. Like, what do you mean? Like, we're not like withholding stuff. It's like, yeah, but you didn't create to the same extent that you did for the original 3. Like, it would be nice to have these extra tender no moments to also just like help build the love story between them that you could use as like more backstory and that kind of thing, because most of the relationship development for the OG3 characters comes in these tender moment cards. So it'd be nice for Silas and Caleb to get the same treatment. Not that they don't have like relationship development, that's not what I'm saying, but it would be nice to get more of that, whether it's like set when they are dating, before they are dating, for Caleb even like when they were kids, like who knows, they could kind of do anything with that. Like they kind of have like a wide realm to explore with that. But it's just unfair to me that they don't get the same amount of content, base content that the other characters do, and I don't like it. All right, stepping off my soapbox now. Next thing on my wish list, I said this last time and I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna keep saying it until they actually update it, but it's an update to Deep Space Voyage. I feel like I'm constantly seeing people like on Reddit and stuff too, like complaining about the lack of content in Deep Space Voyage and the desire to play these event stories. And as someone who joined the game, I think in March of 2025, I also missed on certain event stories. Now they do release the event stories if you get like old birthday cards. They have the old event story attached to it, which I think is very important. I'm glad that they do that. However, we should be treating this the same way with all the events. For example, actually, we're gonna use you know, like the cards where the main character is drunk and the love interests are taking care of her for like the OG3. I think the event story for that one's actually really important, especially because like the love interests are asking her typically on a date. I mean, there's different things for different cards. Like I think Zane and Xavier are going to some like event and they want MC as their date. Something like that. And then Raphael, he's planning a party. And so you're seeing the beforehand of that. Like it's a prequel to the card itself. And I feel like you kind of are thrown into the story and like you kind of get the context, but I think it's nice seeing the build up of that, especially because like they are very connected to the cards. And I feel like, yes, less and less of that is true nowadays. But given we're getting these reruns and we're not getting reruns of the event, it would be nice to give people the opportunity to go and play these old event stories because I think some of them are a lot of fun. I think with them, the one with Misty Invasion is really fun. They are like at some like event, like they're playing this game together and it's like a live action role play kind of thing. And they are trying to like solve a mystery or something like that. And they're also in like really goofy outfits and it's a lot of fun. Or I love the one that actually came with Entwined Shadows that maybe be like my favorite event story because Heartbreaker is like causing havoc all around the town and they are trying to like lure Heartbreaker away, but Heartbreaker's like, you guys don't have like chemistry or something like that. And so they have to like work on like the romantic tension between them and it's really fun. I really like that event story. I love event stories. I think they're a lot of fun. I don't think they're necessary to always read, but if you're a free-to-play player and you don't always get the cards, it is nice to have like something kind of going on that you can kind of play with. And if you're just actually like me and you like playing everything, then like the extra fluff as a bonus for you there to play. And I'm just very immersive like that. Like I want to read everything. So why like have Deep Space Voyage if we're just not going to update it? I know that they technically did update it after the anniversary, but like they just added the Throne of Arrow stories and then the birthday stuff. And the Throne of Arrow stories, like I'm not mad that they updated Throne of Arrows. Like I'm glad it's there for people who missed it. But if you're someone new to the game, you're not gonna like obviously understand it unless like you play those cards on YouTube. But if they can do it for something like that, like where you need to like understand the alternate universe of those cards in order to play the event stories, and they're able to add the Throne of Arrows event stories to Deep Space Voyage, and it can add anniversary stories, I don't see why they can't just like fully update it. I feel like this video is fully turning into a rant. I'm just annoyed that they don't update these things, and I want them to add them into the game. I mean, they're slowly doing it. They did add Limitless Trove, so hey, that's a start. Like we're able to get old event items. I feel like I would have put like a Lemonette's Trove update. We're gonna see if they actually update Lemonette's Trove. I hope that they do, and they might just like add like Lemonette's Trove is getting an update for like from the July to December stuff of last year. So anyone who missed those events can now get those items. But given how crap they are at updating the Lunar Shop or Deep Space Voyage, I don't have hope that they're going to update Lemonette's Trove. But we'll see. We'll see if they do. Similarly, I also added an arcade with old event games. I feel like I've been seeing more people talk about this as of late, especially because a lot of the event games have been really fun. I, for one, loved the shopping game we had last year where we were sorting groceries and things for the solo banners, but I also really love currently the birthday game we have right now. That kind of reminds me of Best Fiends. It's so much fun, and I'm already like going to miss it when Xavier's birthday ends and we can't play it anymore. And I think the fact that they put a lot of time like into these events in general, only for them to kind of like be lost and never seen again, I just think is like such like a disservice to the people that like worked on it. Like you work hard to create this game only for it to be available for like 2 weeks. I think that's just really unfortunate and sad for those people who created it. And not only that, like the people who enjoy playing the game. So I think it'd be fun to add like an arcade feature, I think separate from playtime, just because of the way like playtime is kind of run. It's kind of like you're doing it with him, and I think that the games for events typically run a little bit differently. But I want these games back. I want them in an arcade, and if they were really nice to us, they would give us like 50 gems for like completing like 3 games or something every week. I don't know, something like that. Give us an arcade, please. I'm begging you at this point. Next, I have an update to the Friends feature in the game. I feel like this feature maybe lacks more than anything else in the game because you can add friends and you can send them stamina and you can view their profile and you can view their rooms. And I think it would just be kind of fun to add like other things with the friends, like maybe like be able to take photos with your friends in Glint photo booth. I think could be kind of fun, or some like more interaction. I don't think anything like too crazy, but I feel like having some kind of I don't completely know what this would be, but I just feel like the friends feature in general just kind of needs a bit of an update, because I just don't really know what the point of having friends in this game really does. Like, it doesn't really add much at this point aside from getting like 30 stamina every day, but like aside from that, like it's not doing anything. Like, you create this night profile, I don't know for what. I feel like there's just gonna be a bit more for it. I don't completely know what, but I just feel like more is needed, and so that's why I wrote that one down, but I don't have like all the ideas yet. The last two kind of go hand in hand together. First one being vertical mode for Kindled. These are actually about like Illugio and Kindled with both of these. Now, there was like, I think, a glitch at some point that has since been patched for Android where you actually could like view the Kindled in like a vertical mode, which is very cool. Not only that, it's actually been proven already, obviously, that the Kindles are available in a vertical mode. I've seen in the trailers that are released for literally every card, we see them in vertical in the widescreen, and I need this to be implemented as a feature, to have an option to be like, I want to watch the Kindle in a vertical screen. Now, the main reason I want this is because I make edits, and currently using these screen recordings from my phone is difficult. I feel like everything just feels like a little too zoomed in when I'm making edits, and it just kind of is irritating. So this is the main reason I kind of want this, because it would help me with making edits in the future. But like, if you go through the trouble of like making it widescreen already for the trailer, I just don't know why you can't release that to the people and also let them be able to experience it like in a widescreen mode. I don't know why that's not a thing, especially since it's possible. And finally, speaking of possible, we have the last point I made for my wish list, which was an Illugio update. Now you may be like, what do you mean by Illugio update? Illugio essentially is an event that comes around every second multi-banner where you're able to customize the love interest outfits and hairstyles in the Kindled, and you can also change the MC's hair. But for me, this is a little limiting because like, I want to be able to change MC's outfits too, especially because my MC wears glasses. So it'd be really fun for me to be able to put glasses on her in the Kindled and be like, oh, look at her, she's such a cutie pie. And again, this is another feature that like is technically possible in the game, because this was like a glitch at one point where people were able to be able to change the main character in the Kindled, but like, you know, it had its flaws. Like sometimes you couldn't also change her hairstyle, but in some of them you could, and it didn't work with like every single card. But they've since patched it so you can no longer do that. But I would like the option. I hope now that they've actually maybe like seen that like that's a thing that people were doing, I hope they maybe decide to actually add it as a feature for Illugio where we can now customize MC, because that's all I want. I just want to put glasses on her. That's all I want to do. And I also think it could be fun, especially like if you're changing, like for example, Zane to be like in his Foreseer outfit in the Kindles. It would nice to be also put MC in her Foreseer outfit, and so that way they can match each other more so, rather than her wearing whatever she's wearing in said Kindled. And again, it's another thing that I would just like to see in my edits, because I think then I'm like, if I specifically want to make like a Lightseeker Xavier's edit, then like it feels more like Seeker having MC in her Lightseeker outfit. The other thing I actually want to add for this Illugio update is also being able to change hairstyles and outfits in the main story and Bond stories. Another thing that was like going on with the glitch is that you could change the love interest's appearance in the main story and like put like Silas in his Silverwing Fiend outfit. Honestly, like, the love interest look the hottest when they're in the main story. I'm not gonna lie, they have some of their best scenes in the main story. So it'd be fun to also have the option to be able to change like outfits and hairstyles in the main story Kindled and the Bond stories as well. And I just think it would add more to the game, because I feel like with Illugio where it's at now, it's kind of feeling a little bit limited. But anyways, there we have it. That is my wish list for 6.0. Let me know down below what's something that you want to see in the 6.0 update. What is on your Delulu list? And I will see you guys soon in a new video. And I'll also do an update like I did last time where I'll react to see like what I got right and what was wrong. But again, this isn't like a theory list, this is a Delulu list. So this is just funsies. But I will see you guys soon in a new video. Bye!